Kev, to kick us off, what were your reflections on Saturday's late defeat at Stevenage?
Disappointing, really. We did enough in the game to get something out of it. They've had one bit of magic with a free kick, and after that, I thought we did really well. We sort of suppressed any of their real threats. You know, their big physical side that do what they do really, really well. With their top 3, top 4, whatever they are in the league. They're a really well drilled team. And I thought we matched them in every department. And the first goal was a typical goal how we like to score goals. You know, a pass from Sweens was outstanding. Imi's run, great delivery, and Josh at the back stick. So it was a picture put goal, if you like. And we could have gone on and won the game. Second goal was disappointing. The lads he's come inside. We haven't really blocked the cross. We were quite deep, and they've scored. But overall, it was a real disappointment because I thought we'd done enough to get something out of the game.
Were you pleased to see the response to going behind so early as well? That we went straight down the other end and created a chance to go level. Yeah,
I mean, it was early in the game. It was the 4th minute. It's not the perfect start, but we've had a couple of them this year. At home as well. So we're almost used to being a goal down after 4 or 5 minutes. But we keep believing in what we're doing. And the goal. If you look at the goal, like I said, it was a goal that we work on with passes inside the fullbacks and Imi's inside run, and it was a perfect goal for us. So we're going to keep doing what we're doing. Sweens is now obviously up and running, and he plays them passes for fun. Sweens, he could do it with his eyes closed, to be fair to him.
It's a strange stat, I think, that we were the first team to register an effort on goal against Stevenage this season, so it shows how strong a team they are at home. But was it pleasing that we also created so many chances that on another day we probably could have come back with some points?
Yeah, we've done that 3 or 4 times this year. We did it at Rotherham. We've put a couple across the face of the goal, didn't get on the end of things. We had a goal disallowed at Rotherham. It's just that end bit of quality that we need to just sharpen up on, and we do it day in, day out in training. So it'll come. We just got to keep believing, keep doing the same things that we're doing, and just eradicate sort of the little errors here and there.
They say a lot of positives to build on from that game and take into training this week ahead of Saturday.
Yeah, obviously we're on the back of a third defeat, which is ideal, but it is what it is. John Lee's coming back from injury. Sweens is now back, so we've got bodies in the building. Akil's not going to be far away, so again he gives us a different dimension. So it'll be a good week this week, and obviously Huddersfield coming to town. A well fancied team, new manager. So it'll be a really tough game, but one that hopefully we'll stand up for.
And this season you're working with Joe again. Jack Bycroft joined us, and you've got Frankie Phillips. How are they as a group? Are you finding them so far?
Excellent. Jack's come in, real personality, good character. He's going to push Joe all the way, and no disrespect. Last season we didn't really have that. Joe needs to be on his toes. He knows that. They've got a really good relationship, and hopefully it'll improve everybody. And like you say, young Frankie's come in. He's done brilliant. Frankie had a really good season last year, strong year at Exmouth. He's gone to Taunton, next level up. He's conceding a couple of goals, but his performance levels are still very good. And he needs to keep building on that as well.
And Jack made his competitive debut last Tuesday as well in that Cardiff City match, and he put in a really strong performance as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect anything else from Jack. I did a bit of research on him before he came in. Like I say, he's a larger-than-life character, 23, 24 years of age. He's got a really bright future. He'll keep his feet on the ground. He'll work really hard. And, we've brought him in to push Joe and become a number one at some stage at this football club. And hopefully, if I do my job right, that's what he'll become.
I guess, as you said, you're seeing real competition in training from those guys.
Yeah, there is. There's a real, and to be fair, Jack pushes both of them. He encourages Frankie, encourages Joe. You'll see when we played Wickham away, Jack was the first to go up to Joe and cuddle him and hug him, and because of his performance. Jack is a goalkeeper that you really need at a football club to push someone. He's there for him, making mistakes. He's there. He's positive. He's there if he wins. There's no bitterness between all three of them, which is really good for me, and it makes the session go quite smoothly. I mean, we had a good group last year, but ability-wise this year, I think it's probably the best, certainly the best we've had since I've been here.
You mentioned Frankie going to Taunton there as well, and that he had that fantastic spell last season, but I guess he'll be learning a lot more at a higher level this season as well.
Yeah, he will. I went up and watched him up against Weymouth the other week. He has less to do in some of the games, but the quality of player is greater. So mistakes get punished more in that level than they did in the Exmouth level. Taunton are a team that are quite on the front foot. They play forward, they pass at the back. So Frankie's learning all of that again. So it's a different sort of a different environment for him, where Exmouth last year, Frankie just got it and shelled it 3/4 of the length of the field. Now he's got to be involved in the build, which is really good for us, and that's part of the reason why we picked Taunton this year, because they do want Frankie to be involved in the build, and obviously with the way we play, it's really important that he learns that on a day-to-day basis and taking it into games. So he's done really well. Gets a bit down from letting goals in, and I'm sure he'll come in today a bit deflated, but they've got Dorchester tonight, so he's got to get his head around that and ready for tonight.
Just looking at Joe as well, quite rare that players spend consecutive seasons on loan at a club. What do Palace want to see from Joe this year, and what do we want to see from him in terms of his development, a year on from joining us?
More personality. He's a great kid. Doesn't say he hasn't got it, but his attention to detail needs to be absolutely spot on every day. Him coming from a Premier League club, I want him to bring in his Premier League behaviours, his attitude. When we get beaten small-sided games, I really want it to hurt, because I think it's important to learn to win and get that habit. But his levels of training, that's what I want him to be high every single day. And I know it's difficult, but if he wants to be a top goalkeeper in a Premier League team or Championship, whatever his future holds, he has to produce that day in, day out, and the higher you are, the more they demand. So he needs to make sure that every day he comes in training and he's the best goalkeeper that we've got, and he has to show that every single day, because he's got Jack chasing him.
We face Huddersfield back home on Saturday as well. You said one of the more fancied teams in the league probably have their eyes on going back to the Championship. I mean, what can you expect from that game?
It'll be a really tough game. I mean, they've started quite well. They have struggled on the on-away trip, but they've got strikers in abundance there. I think they've spent more money on their strikers than what probably this football club has in 25 years. So they're a good side. They're a Championship side, Premier League side not so long ago. New manager that has a good philosophy on playing, coming from Ipswich. So it'll be a really tough game. But we've got to keep believing in what we're doing, cut out the little silly mistakes, the little errors that we're doing, and keep playing, because, like I say, we've got players in the team that are good enough at this level comfortably. And if we start bright and the fans get behind us, it's a difficult place to come. It's a long way. We know what the travel's like. They could have a bad day travelling down on the Friday. It could be anything. So we need to make sure that we start the game bright, on the front foot, get the crowd behind us, because we need them for every game.
You only have to look back a few months to that end of season game against Huddersfield where we won 3-1, and the performance was great on that day. So we can go toe to toe with any of these sides, really.
100%, and at home, that's we need to make sure that we're really bright and give the fans something to cheer about. The end of last year, they sort of down tools a little bit, Huddersfield, to be honest. But it's not to say that we didn't play well, and we need to do that every single game. We know that we need to be at our best every game to pick up points, and Saturday is a big game for us.
Just to finish as well, you've been back with us for a couple of years now. How much are you enjoying being back in the club?
Yeah, football's been my life, and I think if you ask anybody, once you come out of football, nothing will replicate what you have in the dress rooms, on the match days, out on the training pitch. And we're very fortunate as coaches, as players, to have that opportunity in life to do something you really love. It is huge, because, like I say, when you come out of football, you might have to go into an office and work, you might have to go on a building site and work. it's not the same. So I take this as every day is my last day, and I enjoy it. Obviously, there's moments where I'm down, but I'm only human on that. So, I love coming out on the grass every day training. I even joined in the small-sided games one time. I couldn't walk for about 4 days after that, but it's in my blood, so it's always going to be there. And I've done countless other jobs since I've left football, but this is what it's about for me as a kid. When my old man was around, he pushed me into football, and it was the best thing he ever did. And I was grateful for him for doing that. So this has been my life really from probably 7 or 8 years of age.
I lied to you. I've got one more for you. A young City side obviously heads down to your old stomping ground at Oakhampton Argyle tonight. It'll be a great experience for them to come up against some strong men's football.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, when I first came here and I was playing in the reserve team, we used to play in the Devon Exeter League, and we had some young kids in the team, and they used to kick the hell out of us. But it's a tough environment. Our boys will go down there and put on a good show. It'll be a decent surface, big pitch, so they'll have plenty of room to play. But Oakhampton are a decent side, run really well. A mate of mine used to run it. So it'll be a good test for them. It's like I say, it'll be a good game.